The 2020 pandemic shortened season. We're actually almost at the end of this series. We're gonna do the shortened 60 game season. Here's what happened that year in that season, which included a few teams that actually contracted that virus. Anyways, January 21st, Derek Jeter and Larry Walker are elected into the Hall of Fame. Jeter was one vote short of a unanimous vote. Well, I think it was 99.7%. March 12th, because of the beginning of said pandemic, Major League Baseball cancels the remainder of spring training and delays the opener of the season. June 23rd, MLB approves the 60-game schedule to begin July 23rd. And the games corresponding within the division, so American League East teams played within their own division, and the National League East and the American League Central played within each other, and within the National League Central, get it, and the West versus West. Anyways, July 23rd, on the same day, the Yankees and the Nationals open the season with no fans, by the way. MLB announces an expanded playoff format to 16 teams. So yeah, that was the first round. Was I guess wild cards. He's the best of 3 and the best of 5 division series and the best of 7 LCS and World Series. So I think you get that. Anyways, in Toronto, the Jays spent the season with their home games in Buffalo because they weren't allowed because of restrictions. It was a gong show. Anyways, Tampa Bay took the American League East at 40-20, 667 average. Too easy. Yankees went 33-27 and had one of the wild cards. There was actually 5, really 3 division winners plus 5 wild cards. We had 3 division winners, your 3 second place team, and the 2 best third place teams. Toronto went 32-28, and also had one of the wild cards. They were third. Baltimore went 25-35, and Boston went 24-36. Excuse me. Minnesota went 36-24, took the AL Central. Cleveland and Chicago each went 35-25 and grabbed the other 2 more spots. Second and third place teams. Kansas City goes 26-34, and Detroit went 23-35. Well, they had 2 games with St. Louis that ultimately got canceled. Oakland took the West at 36-24. Here's a one flaw of expanding the format. Houston went 29-31. Took the last one. Well, they had one of the 5 non-division best records. I don't know how to explain that. Seattle went 27-33. LA went 26-34, and Texas went 22-38. Houston finished second with a bad record. Atlanta took the National League East at 35-25. Miami went 31-29 and took one of the wild card spots. Philly went 28-32. Washington went 26-34. And I guess the Mets went 26-34 as well. Chicago went 34-26, took the National League Central. St. Louis went 30-28. Got one of the wild cards. Cincinnati went 31-29. Also got one of the wild cards. Milwaukee went 29-31 and got the last of the wild cards. Actually, no, that's technically a lie. Because San Diego got 19-41 was Pittsburgh. Dodgers went 43-17. Took the West. San Diego went 37-23. That should be a wild card right there. Yeah, I'm right. 37-23 went the Padres, and they had a wild card spot. San Francisco went 29-31 and didn't get a spot because I don't know how they worked that between Milwaukee and San Francisco. Colorado went 26-34, and Arizona went 25-35. Okay, season stats. DJ LeMahieu. The Yankees had a 364 average. Best in the majors. Of course, these numbers are skewed because I only played 60 games. Luke Voit of the Yankees had 22 home runs, led the majors. Jose Abreu of Chicago had 60 RBIs at 6-0, led the majors. Shane Bieber of Cleveland had 8 wins, which was tied for the major league lead. Had a 1.63 ERA, which led the majors, and 122 strikeouts, which also led the majors. So I guess there's your pitching triple crown winner for the American League. Juan Soto of Washington had a 351 average. Marcell Ozuna of Atlanta had 18 home runs, which led the National League, and had 56 RBIs. Wishful thinking. That also led the National League. Yu Darvish of Chicago, 8 wins, tied for the Major League lead with Shane Bieber. Trevor Bauer I didn't put down who he played with. 1.73 ERA, which led the National League. Jacob deGrom, I think with the Mets, 104 strikeouts, led the National League. Okay, so how they basically worked this is the team with the better records had home field. So Toronto versus Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay won 3-1 at home and 8-2 at home. So they're moving on to the League Division Series. Of Chicago versus Oakland. All games were in Oakland. Chicago won Game 1 4-1. Oakland won Game 2 5-3, and won Game 3 6-4. So Oakland's moving on. Houston versus Minnesota. Minnesota was the home team for all the games, and Houston won 4-1 in Game 1 and won 3-1 in Game 2. So they're moving on. And Yankees versus Cleveland. Cleveland was the home team here, and Yankees won 12-3 in Cleveland and won Game 2 in Cleveland 10-9. So that sets up the Yankees versus the Rays, and Houston versus Oakland in the League Division Series. So the National League part, Milwaukee versus the Dodgers, and the Dodgers were the home team, and they won Game 1 4-2 and won Game 2 3-0. So they're moving on. Cincinnati versus Atlanta. Atlanta was a home team here for all the games. Atlanta won Game 1 1-0 in 13 innings, and won Game 2 5-0. Miami versus Chicago. Chicago was the home team, and Miami won 5-1 in Game 1 and won 2-0 in Game 2. So they're moving on. St. Louis versus San Diego, and San Diego was the home team for all the games. St. Louis won Game 1 7-4. San Diego won Game 2 11-9, and won Game 3 4-0. So they moved on. So you had San Diego versus the Dodgers and Miami versus Atlanta, and all division series games were split between Arlington, Texas, and Los Angeles. Arlington, Texas was Globe Life Stadium, home of the Rangers. Anyways, Yankees versus Tampa. And never mind. So I was thinking switching back and forth, all in the same place. Game 1, Tampa was a home team. The Yankees won 9-3. Game 2, Tampa was the home team and won 7-5. Game 3, the Yankees were the home team and Tampa won 8-4. Game 4, the Yankees were the home team and won 5-1. And Game 5, the Tampa Bay was the home team and won 2-1. So I think those games were in LA. I think this series was in Texas. I can't remember. So Game 1, Oakland was the home team and Houston won 10-5. Oakland was the home team for Game 2 and Houston won 5-2. Houston was the home team for the next 2 games. Oakland won the Game 3 9-7. And Houston won Game 4 11-6. So they're moving on to the league championship series versus Tampa Bay. So now we got the San Diego versus LA, which I think was in Texas. Yes, they were. Dodgers were the home team for the first 2 games and they won 5-1 and 6-5. And San Diego was the home team for Game 3 and the Dodgers won 12-3. Game 4, Miami versus Atlanta. Atlanta was the first home game team for the first 2 games, and they won 9-5 and 2-0. And Atlanta won Game 3 7-0 with Miami the home team. So the ALCS was held in San Diego and the NLCS was held in Texas. So, you know what? Hang on. No, never mind. Tampa Bay was the home team for the first 2 games and they won 2-1 and 4-2. Houston was the home team for the next 3 games and Tampa Bay won Game 3 5-2. Houston won Game 4 and 5 by identical 4-3 scores. Houston won Game 6 7-4 with Tampa Bay as home team, and Tampa Bay was home team for Game 7 and they won 4-2. World Series. Dodgers were the home team for the first 2 games, and Atlanta won Game 1 5-1 and 8-7. Games 3, 4, and 5 were Atlanta was the home team. LA won 15-3. Game 3, Atlanta won Game 4 10-2, and the Dodgers won Game 5 7-3. Dodgers were the home team for the last 2 games, 6 and 7, and they won 3-1 and 4-3. So they're in the World Series. So Tampa versus LA, with all World Series game played at Globe Life Field in Texas. First time the World Series since 1944 to be at one stadium. The St. Louis Browns versus St. Louis Cardinals was in. And the first time since 1993 the games were entirely on an artificial turf. So the LA was a home team for the first 2 games, and they won Game 1 8-3. Tampa won Game 2 6-4. Tampa Bay was home team for the next 3 games, and LA won 6-2 for Game 3. Tampa Bay won Game 4 8-7, and Game 5 at LA won 4-2. And the Dodgers were the home team for Game 6, and they won 3-1, giving them their first World Series title since 1988. And in a bit of an ironic twist, Justin Turner was found out that he had COVID after the game, which is probably why he got yanked. So anyways, there was your insanely short 60-game season. Tomorrow, 2021. The end is close. Until then, stay tuned.